Hi, Mark Galvan here. This is just a quick post because I want to address something that I keep on hearing in conversations with business owners and executive leaders. It has to do with high performance and how we hire people on our teams. And I want to address this because I think it's a myth and it's being fed to us by the people around us. So it sounds like this. We don't really need a high performing person in that position or this position. And this is a result of either we think the work is just not important, or it's not important enough to have a strong person in the role, or maybe that we just can't find strong enough people who would want to do the work. So we settle for anybody that will accept the job, anybody that will do the work. Now, it kind of makes sense if you think about it intuitively that, hey, not every position really requires a high-performing person. But to emphasize what's wrong with that thinking, let me kind of take the idea to the extreme to illustrate what's wrong. So it might sound something like this. Look, we need 5 people on this team. And really not all the positions are critical for winning. We really only need a strong point guard and a strong forward. And that'll get the job done. If a coach thought that way, we would think that's ridiculous. Contrast that to what happens when you put a high-performing person in every position on the entire team. Here's what that looks like. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc. I mean, that's the Chicago Bulls during their infamous, winning streak. It's the quintessential picture of a dynasty team and what can be accomplished. It's extraordinary compared to, their peer group. So that's the kind of results that a business can also get. To use another metaphor, if a football coach said, look, really we just need a strong quarterback and strong receivers. And what? No, that's not going to work. So why do we sit back and accept this convenient idea that we don't need high performers in every role within our business? So some of this noise comes from, HR or talent management or operational leaders or agencies that are trying to hire people. And so we rationalize this and we accept it, and it's not good for the organization. And in some cases, we just say, well, look, not every position requires high performance. Something like a janitor or a maintenance worker, a mechanic, administrative person, data entry, any entry-level role. We just don't need high-performing people in those positions. Well, okay, let me just show you what a high-performing janitor looks like. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story, and this is a real true story. And it happened when I was 19 years old. I got hired as a janitor for a large growing company, and every day I was on time. I was meticulous about all of my cleaning work, which actually kind of made my peers look bad. I had 3 other guys on my maintenance team with me, and they didn't like the fact that I worked so hard. I was actually told, look, Mark, you don't need to work so hard. I was literally told, look, things are clean enough. You don't need to go the extra mile. When I was finished with my rounds, it would always be faster than everybody else, and I would have free time. So I would look for other things to do in order to be productive. I mean, literally one day, I had finished with all of my rounds, all my duties, and we had this sidewalk that went around the perimeter of the building. And so I was on my hands and knees, crawling on the sidewalk, pulling out weeds that were growing up between little cracks in the sidewalk. And the reason I remember this story so well is because I was on my hands and knees, and I hear somebody walk up behind me and in a kind of a booming voice ask me, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" And so I popped up and I turned around, and it's the company president. So I'm a little nervous. I explained, look, I'm done with my work. I'm finished with my rounds. I was looking for something productive to do. And actually these weeds growing in the cracks of the sidewalk look bad. So I'm pulling them out. And he said to me 2 words, "Carry on." And he just walked away. So I went back to pulling weeds. But what he did was he went to HR that day, and I got picked to be promoted into a warehouse manager job, and they were going to train me. And that led me down an amazing path that influenced the rest of my career forever after that. So when I think about, look, that position doesn't need a high-performing person, I challenge that. Why not? From a talent management perspective, there's really no good reason to say we don't need a high-performing person in this role or that role. So just to qualify what this means, typically when we talk about a qualified person, they have the hard skills. They have the basic capabilities to do the job. Sometimes we call them minimally qualified. But a highly qualified person, they have not only the hard skills and the technical knowledge, but they also have these soft skills that everybody wants. Good communication, respect, good attitude, dependable, punctual. But a high performer, their orders of magnitude in every category over somebody that's just highly qualified. Their hard skills are sharper, and they express a commitment to continuous learning and development. Their soft skills are stronger, and they're constantly improving and working on them. Their attitude, no. It's more than just attitude. They're tenacious. They are persistent. They are always positive. They are constantly looking for the good. They are working to make things better. They're constantly trying to improve. They have a very different character about them that makes them stand out, and they work harder. So in recent years and in working with clients just over and over again, I've seen how this is absolutely possible to attract, engage, and hire high-performing people in any position. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, it takes some key ingredients to have in place in order to be able to get that kind of an outcome, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. So the next time you hear, somebody saying, well, we don't need a high performer in that position, just think about the Chicago Bulls and the kind of competitive dynasty that gets created when you have a high performer in every position. And if that's something that you want to build within your own organization, let's chat. I can show you how. Reach out to me. Use the link below and get on my calendar. Let's talk. I'm Mark Galvan. Talk to you soon.